he's saying, as he has given the husband to be the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church. And how is Christ the head of the church? Christ is the head of the church, being the savior. Hi guys, you're on Daily Thoughts with Natalie Bradwitt, and I decided to continue on with the study of marriage and the positions each person has to play in a marriage. And so I just followed through on all of the scriptures that I had gathered. Yesterday, I decided that, you know what, I will go through them one by one and kind of get a total and holistic view. Yeah, so I decided to talk today on Ephesians chapter 5. So it is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25 to 29. I will also read for you 21 to 24, but let's go with 25 to 29 for now. Yeah. It says, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of water with the word, so that he might present the church to himself in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that she might be holy and without blemish. In the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as Christ does the church." So when I read that, I was like, are we truly understanding that God is mirroring the way how he treats the church? Being, sometimes in the Bible we see it is spoken of as the bride of Christ. He is mirroring that to the relationship a man is supposed to have to his wife. And so if we understand that Christ has done everything in his power to cause us to be blemish free, cause us to be close to him, cause us to be protected by him, caused us to be all things that are good, right? And he's saying, so too should a man do everything in his power to cause his wife to be blemish free, to be taken care of, to be loved, right? To show love. And he's even likening this whole love a husband supposed to have to a wife as if it was his own body. Because in reality, remember, the rib came from the man. So really and truly, we are the flesh of his flesh and bone of his bone. We came a part of him. So he's saying no man would hate himself or whatever. So how could or why should a husband like hate his wife or treat his wife unjustly or unfairly? Because actually you are doing that to your own self. So if a man is treating his wife badly or whatever, it means that he's doing that to his own self. So however she looks, how whatever is her life experience, it reflects negatively or positively on the husband. Yeah. So I decided to read above, and so let's read verses 21 to 24. It says, "And further, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. Let me read that again. And further, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. For wives, so he's saying, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. And this is how it would play out for wives and for husbands, right? So he's talking to the wife and he says, for wives, submit to your husbands as to the Lord. So, same way how we would be committed to the Lord, committed to, pleasing God and whatever he's saying, submit to your husband as to the Lord. For a husband is the head of his wife as Christ is the head of the church. He is the savior of his body, the church. So he's saying that Christ is the savior of the body that is called the church. He's saying as he has given the husband to be the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church. And how is Christ the head of the church? Christ is the head of the church, being the savior of the church. So the husband is supposed to be like a savior to the wife. She is supposed to be feeling protected. She is supposed to be feeling held up. She is supposed to be feeling safe. Yes? As the church submits to Christ, so you wives should submit to your husbands in everything. So, yes, wives, we are to submit to our husbands. But as in everything, but I don't want to say but to negate the instruction. So I don't want to negate the instruction. I want to add to that while we are to submit to our husbands, in everything the Lord has said that he would do for us, there is always a criteria. And here too I'm seeing a criteria. Our husbands are supposed to be the savior for us, the protector for us, the provider for us, the shield for us, the safety for us. So as we submit, we are supposed to feel safe in our submission. We are not supposed to wonder if we submit ourselves to our husbands, would it be well with me? We are supposed to know that it will be well because this man is my savior. He will protect me. He will keep me safe. He will provide for me. He will look out for my best interests because that is what the Lord does for the church. Take this nugget today and go to the world and live a transformed life.